the Patreon subscribers. We'll start with gold because it looks like it's pretty imminent now. 1843, very, very close. Daily open, and the fact that we are a sell as well. Okay, we're a sell at the big picture, and they've gone quite long on their ratios. Okay, so that's them going long. They went long up here, and you can see if they do go long, price will fall. The profitable traders will be holding on to their longs, so waiting for an interchange ideally. But I think that looks fairly obvious now. We are close. We're less than $2 away before we get that. So I was saying yesterday we were going to come down to the SLC below. It looks like we are, but you know, still a little bit of distance. That's interesting. They didn't want to get stopped out, so they moved their stops lower. So the new target is 1829. So it gives us a little bit more freedom and a better target as well. So really, from a risk to reward perspective, entering now with a $2 stop TP, you know, you're looking for a 1-to-1R, but now they've moved their stop lower. You could have a stop here, you know, like a $3 stop to target. Oh, they're fluctuating a lot on the SLCs. Obviously, they're worried about getting stopped out, so it's fluctuated. So be careful, I think. 1843 is the new one. It was down there, and they've decided to change their mind. So in a way, it's good that they've done that for themselves, because if they've moved their stop, you know, $15, it's quite painful, especially if it does come all the way down here. So that's a bit of gold for you. We'll take these guys off, and we can look at the ratios, and you can see how they've gone long. And by doing so, you know, it had fallen since. We've got two back-to-back sell candles as well, which maps to here and here, these two here. So that's worth noting. So this would be a resistance box. I'm out of that EU trade now. I just exited because we're below the daily pivot, and so I'm completely flat now. And I might just sit on my hands for the rest of the week. There's no way I'm going to recoup my loss. I had some positions on the Aussie, and I was trying to build those positions, and it went against me. So I think I'll just be a negative week, which is fine. But it's knowing when to cut losses. It's the key. So currently, you know, quite a bearish block there based on that back-to-back bearish volumes there. So should be a resistance, and then you're waiting for an interchange here. Okay, so let's look at. We'll start with New Zealand dollar. So give it a bit of context, is that they really shorted Kiwi. So it can perhaps do okay, sentimentally speaking. 62.25, one below is at 61.70. Weekly open to target SLC. And then your medium-term target's here. And then your medium-term target is here. So, you know, looking, weekly open is your level, line in the sand. To target SLC near term or medium term, to target long. If you've got a much longer term view, you're waiting for a monthly pivot to break, and then you're looking for monthly resistance. Okay. And I'll show you the bubble once it loads. Yeah, okay, we'll come back to that. Oh, it shouldn't be that slow. There we go. So I'll show you the average bubbles. And you see the New Zealand dollar over here now. Or it might be on the daily. Yeah, there you go. So they've really shorted the New Zealand dollar, and they've gone long Aussie. So Aussie Kiwi should be quite negative. Yeah, 83 pips. There's our trade of the day, by the way. And I think we might be doing this. We're coming down to some demand zones. Got 3 demand zones here, so they're going to be a decent support. So I don't know how successful it will be. We're at -7 pips. For me, I wouldn't have taken this, but to monitor. But it would have been a good one. You just had to get a better entry. You know, that's a nice little dump there. I'm glad I got out. That would have been really horrible. So a little bit of Aussie there. We've got Aussie sentimental weakness. We've got Kiwi sentimental strength. Okay, to give things a bit of context. So potentially come up, get the SLC. Let's look at Aussie, and you see these should be quite different because of the sentiment. And yeah, I exited that euro, which is okay. I didn't want to get to my break even. It's just too frustrating if it did. It was horrible. So there's the decline on the Aussie. Weekly open, so you target SLC, which is 66.70. The one above is large, 69.24. We won't be getting that stop loss cluster this week because there's your target for weekly target. So we can't really exceed it that far and get the stop loss cluster. So I think this is probably going to be safe, and then we might raid it next week, or it might be the week after. But you can see there's a big cluster of stops up here, and the ATO target's short. So probably SLC, I think, 66, 69, and then 66.47 for technical support. EU, what an absolute pain. EU, what was I? Is this a case of knowing when to exit? I think you can't let things run. It's just really horrible. And don't forget, we're breaking daily pivot. So there's your monthly pivot, which is always a strong level. We are below. One above is 107, dead on a round number. And you can see how we created the resistance here. And one below is at 106.15. So I had an okay entry, but then of course by looking left, you know this is going to be a decent resistance. And it looks like they might be going long. Slightly going long, aren't they? So yeah, daily pivot is let's look at the daily pivot. So this is my line in the sand level. All right, so ideally 106.65, so we are very close. We're 2 pips away. Let's go back to that and put it back to monthly because I might forget. What is pivots? Monthly. Okay. And yeah, so might have just dumped, and then we're gonna might have support off daily pivot. So 106.65. Okay. Yeah, that's EU. Look at pound. And the thing is, what's really confusing is that we've got a very subdued VIX. It got crushed, but yet the dollar. You know, we shouldn't be that strong on the dollar because the VIX is low and we're substantially below 20. 1, 2, 1 on the dot exactly. One below is at 119.90. And don't forget we've got the power testimony as well, so that might aid the USD a little bit. So weekly open to target SLC or weekly open to target SLC. So we're basically on that line now. We can see how we're consolidating. Quite a bit. Yeah, look at dollar CAD, I guess, and then dollar Swiss, dollar yen. And also trying to move home and trading is very difficult as well. 136.46. They are very short, so we probably should be coming up to get SLC. 136.45. And one below is 1355. So I think we're probably going to come up and get that, just due to the fact that retail guys are very short, and I think we'll probably even get the ATR target long, just based on the sentiment. And then by getting up there, that should wipe them out, take their stops out, and then we can, you know, look to resume some normal behaviour. But they're very skewed on dollar CAD, dollar Swiss, and this should be falling. Yeah, it's fallen fairly heavily. There's your monthly pivot, which is of note, 93.02. Okay, so that's a big level. SLC 92.60, which corresponds to the ATR target, and 93.75. So that's really important. 93.05, 93.02 is your daily open and monthly pivot level. Below that, then it looks like they were going to get the SLC. So you can place an order to sell 92.95, stop here, knowing that this has got like a double confluence to target SLC. So you're looking for a 4R trade, you know, 10 pip stop loss, and you've got a 40 pip TP. Dollar I might do that actually. I'll place an order for that. I'm going to do that trade. I think it looks likely. So, they've gone quite long as well. Dollar yen, one above is far away, 137.25. One below is at 135.20. So just to recap, I'm going to place an order to short dollar Swiss and 92.95 with a stop here at 93.05. So it's 10 pip stop to target SLC. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Entry 92.95 SL TP. So I can draw that on here so you can see the levels. Fib. There. So yeah, that's what we're doing. There's your stop loss at the daily open. Enter 92.94 ish, and then you're going to target the SLC there. So 92.60, and that's going to be a 4R trade. All right. So I'm placing the order on this. I only use like 1% or 2%. I probably recommend doing a 1% risk to your account because it might go against you and you want to be trading safely. So I'm going to risk 1% on this, and it should probably come down to the SLC, and that's going to be a decent resistance level if we go below. And if we don't get filled on that order, that's fine. There's not to worry. It's not going to be a loss. It's just doesn't matter. So that's the logic there. So we'll come back to this tomorrow, see how it panned out, and we probably should be coming down to the SLC, but it won't come down in a straight line. It will zigzag, and then we'll inevitably come down to the SLC maybe tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's the setup for today. Okay.